Hey everybody, welcome to another Probably Private. I'm Catherine Jarmal, and today we're going to talk about do's and don'ts of getting started with AI red teaming. Okay. This is because I've been seeing both in my professional work, so with clients and so forth, but also in conversations online or also at conferences. There's a lot of interesting debates about getting started with AI red teaming. And I thought, as somebody that is a cross-disciplinary person, maybe I can give you some thoughts that can help you. So I would say the first big don't that I notice, a mistake that I notice, is focusing on stuff that you definitely cannot change. And this is the classic blue team, red team argument in a lot of ways. Is it can be really easy to break something and very hard to fix it. So it might be useful to think about some of the types of risks or some of the types of ways that an AI system can break that you might actually be able to address. Now, I'm not trying to overly restrict your thinking, but one activity I like to do is to kind of actually map out the entire AI system and then to kind of prioritize the different types of threats that we could expose by red teaming, and then to literally make sure that we know which ones we can change, which ones we're not sure about, and which ones we definitely cannot change, right? If we're using a third-party LLM or AI provider, we cannot actually change the model itself, right? We may be able to use a different model. There's an idea. But we can't actually change the system that the system uses a third-party LLM. So just when you're thinking about those things, just try to prioritize stuff that you either aren't sure you're going to be able to address or that you definitely know you're going to be able to address. And this can make sure that your red teaming efforts are actually fruitful in uncovering things that you can actually do. Don't only use security persons. So this is another mistake that I see. You already have a red team. Why not just use the red team? Good idea. They should definitely be there. But if you have anybody that works in data science or machine learning, and you might even want to include some product people, what you're going to do is you're going to infuse your red teaming, with some extra knowledge about how AI and machine learning works. If you want to learn more, check out the whole playlist that I have, getting started with thinking about that. But also, you're going to, perhaps from a product perspective, have ideas of who's showing up for this product, what might be their motivation, and this is going to just influence and help your red teaming to, again, maybe focus not only on attacks that you might have not thought of if it's just a security team, but also are infused with kind of the business understanding of what the product is supposed to do and who might be using it. Don't just build out a working attack and then be like, here's the log of what we did. Like, I feel you, but that's not a reasonable way to do AI security at scale. What you're going to need to start thinking about and set up, I would love for you to set up before you start red teaming, is something that uses open telemetry to record your traces. And then you can start to build out a labeling system that starts to look at, unsafe response or we got this data that we weren't supposed to get, right? And as you have that telemetry data, you can then use this for labeling, for evaluating guardrails, for evaluating different models. So again, going back to the first one, what risk you can address? Well, if you have an evaluation suite that you can run, you can probably choose your models better, and then that becomes a risk you can actually adjust yourself. So by doing this, you're able to then say, hey, this is now risk we can do because we have these evaluation suites that we've built over time from doing all of this red teaming. And that's, I think, going to be super powerful in having you make sense of which models are safe for, in your version of safe, for what types of data flows, what types of use cases, right? and maybe doing a mixed model type of production setup. And then final don't is don't just do whatever the coolest new attack is. I am just as easily distracted as anybody else. Oh, cool new attack. Let me try it out. That's fine. You can do that, but don't only do that. What I want you to do, or what I want you to start thinking about, especially at an organizational level, is how do we observe the security of our AI workflows today? And if you're already using observability stacks, if you already have that integrated, especially OpenTelemetry or other types of things like this integrated in your setup, you might want to start thinking about how do we actually sample traces from what's actually happening in production and use that to inform not only our security posture, but also our privacy posture, but also how do we secure these systems at scale. And then it might give you ideas for red teaming that you don't even have based on what's actually happening in your system. And B, it's going to help you focus from shiny new thing into actually most of our security risk lies in this bucket. And we really want to improve and get really robust evaluation suite that helps us, let's say, choose models better, or that helps us choose guardrails better, or that helps us take that next step into using, this data that we wouldn't have used because of security concerns, right? So it's just some tips. I know, I don't know if I'm going to get some hate comments from this because I know sometimes red team security people, they don't want to be told what to do. I'm sorry. If so, it's just advice. Do what you want with the advice. But I hope this helps make red teaming fruitful, because red teaming, I think, should really reinforce how do we actually holistically build security into our workflows. And what I don't want is you do some awesome red teaming and then it just lands in a to-do list somewhere, which you have no control over, and you lose motivation and you lose your desire to work on that stuff because it's not actionable and it's not prioritizable. And I think if you take some of this advice and you work it out at your org, you can create a little bit more multi-team responsibility for red teaming outputs. And you can start to also build it where it's really clear how the organization benefits, not only from the red teaming, but from what comes after the red teaming. Let me know. Is this advice controversial? What do you think? Other tips that you have, do's and don'ts you've seen? I know maybe we got some, I've been noticing in the comments, maybe we got some security red teaming people. What did I miss? What advice would you give? And I'll see you next week.